a shame. We featured your Enforcer a little while ago on Full Boost, and a lot of the comments was, why didn't he get a Barra? Why didn't he put a Barra in it? But unbeknownst to them, you actually own a Barra, don't you?
I have one of both.
Yeah.
Hey, so we have a V8 one, I have a turbo 6-cylinder one. So one of each.
And this one, well, you'd never really pick it, would you, with the bonnet down?
No. This is my 06 BF SR Falcon. So I guess you would say it's a base model with some alloys.
Tell us the story, because that obviously doesn't quite fit to me. You've got a FPV style engine in a grandpa spec.
That's right. So noisy.
We're always getting blown out here at Heath Park Raceway, but at least this time it's a 1J.
Yes. Yeah, so the driveline's all out of a FPV Typhoon. So I bought the car as a completely standard base model Falcon, and then acquired a driveline out of another car, and just, bolted it all together because, it's a BF engine into a BF sedan shell, so everything just bolts back together like it normally would.
You did all this before things were probably not quite as expensive as they were now?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough I built this just before the whole COVID tax thing came in.
Yeah.
And this car owes me next to nothing. To give you an idea, the car by itself was $1,500.
Yeah.
And I haven't changed a thing on it. It had the same wheels, the little dings and marks that are around it. That's how you see it, is how I bought it, minus the engine and the driveline in it.
And that's internally stock, yeah? No head studs or?
It's got some valve springs.
Oh, valve springs, yes. Sorry.
But no head studs, no oil pump.
And is it all stock turbo or?
Yep, stock turbo. It's just really a stage 1 process West intercooler, some injectors, valve springs. Am I allowed to say that it's got a high flow cat with a stock exhaust?
Stock exhaust?
Stock exhaust.
I noticed how quiet the thing is down the track.
Yes. If you're going to make a sleeper, you may as well make it sound as standard as I can.
Yeah, when this was idling before, and I walked over, I didn't even realise it was on. You couldn't even hear the thing.
The loudest part of it's the 1000cc injectors ticking away when it's idling.
So it's a stock torque converter in it still?
Yep, ZF 6-speed auto, stock converter. Obviously M86 diff out of the FPV or XR6 turbo.
So yours, you were saying earlier, yours has got the I guess shorter V8 style gears in it?
Yeah, so that's usually run a 2.7 behind a ZF, and I've chosen to go with a 3.2, only because when I originally converted this to turbo and ZF, the original diff that was in it was a 3.2, so I did decide I wanted to have a go at trying that ratio because it was already in the car, and I found that works really, really well with this engine and gearbox combination, so I've put the bigger diff into it, but kept the same ratio so that it just works well.
So as a package, what's this run? I know you've run it before today, but...
So personal best so far is 11.0 at 127.
Yeah.
And so far today we're at 11.1 at 126.7, but I just can't knock that 60 foot down. It just needs more and more practice to get it. But
10.99 sounds a lot quicker than 11.0, doesn't it?
I don't care. As long as it starts with a 10, I'm happy, but I'm sure I've got room to improve on a 1.8 60 foot. So.
Did you have to swap the computer out?
So the computer, good way to put it, from the windscreen forward is all the looms out of the FPV.
Okay.
So you can put the turbo engine in and add a few sensors here and there and make it all work. But since I had a whole car, I just put everything in, and it was literally plug a scan tool in to relink everything, turn the key, and away it goes. So there was no wiring, anything, everything just plugged in.
You got yourself a pretty cool daily driver.
I did. I drive this every day. Yeah. It's interesting, and not a lot of people expect that it can go as good as it does.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the thing I like about this, you just leave this parked at the supermarket and...
No one looks at it.
One of the big things I see on the internet, Shane, is I've got a Barra, it makes 500 kilowatts and it runs 120 mile an hour. And to me, it just doesn't add up a lot of the time, does it?
Add up.
So your car is probably at the other end. It doesn't show a lot of power, does it?
No.
I should say that. It shows power where it should here, but on the dyno, it's pretty moderate, isn't it?
That's right. So we've had it on the dyno a few times just to make small alterations to it to make sure that it's as good as it can be, but 368 kilowatts at the tyres is the best it's ever made. Yeah. So there's no more, no less. anyone who says that it makes more, it's got a dead standard exhaust with a high flow cap. So we are at the limits. I wanted to run 20 pounds into this thing, and it's given me 17, and I'm tapped at that. So
it won't give you any more.
No.
It'd have a lot of back pressure, I'm assuming.
That's right. So we've left it where we're not squeezing on it as hard as I could, but anything more that we try and put into it, it just gives us nothing. It's not efficient.
So you're on E85, yeah?
Yes, E85. I should add that.
Yeah.
It's not on 98. Hoping to run 10s with that sort of power.
But really, there's not a whole lot done to it, and that's not a whole lot of boost, so.
No. As I said, bit of a fuel system, an intercooler,
It's not a very big intercooler.
No.
I noticed when you're rolling up to the staging lanes before, I'm like, it's half the size of most blokes, yeah.
I just on a mission to prove, not do 8s for 10. You can't do 8s for 2K, but I want to try and do 10s for 2K.
10s for 2K, yeah.
Yeah.
The 2K Barra myth is alive.
Yeah, but not 8s.
Turbo is loving life. 11:23, 125. Hot lapping it. $11.06 at 125. Pretty close to a 10. $11.08, 125.79.
Stock Falcon brakes.